Oh, Lord, come on, buddy. I'm back. Have a new thing going on. You can see me now. But if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're listening to this on wherever you listen to your podcast, welcome back to the She Talks Wrestling podcast. I am your host, Ashlyn J, and as you can see, I have two friends with me today. Boys, I'm going to remind you, this is a family-friendly show. Okay? We use nice words. Okay? Nice words. To my left, to my right, is Mr. Old Man Logan. Let's welcome Logan. And to our bottom is Toxic Jose. You may remember Jose from my interview with them. And together, along with some other people, they make up the men of the Hot Take Wrestling podcast and like big brothers to me. So, gentlemen, welcome to She Talks Wrestling. Why are we awkwardly waving? What is going on?
Because you said we can't cut, so now I have to awkwardly wave to get all the cussing out. It's waving the bad juju out.
Have I made a mistake?
No, maybe, because now next hour I have to watch what I say and filter my comments. Do you know last I was on TikTok for 4 hours? I was cussing up a storm. Now I have to censor myself. This is going to be hard for me.
This is the holy show.
You said what?
This is the holy
Oh.
Get it right.
We welcome you in this place.
For all intended purposes, our show is supposed to be at least PG-13 as well. We've had this conversation several occasions, but certain members just have to have certain things when they're potting, and they seem to forget those informations that it's supposed to be PG-13. So,
and we're not gonna lie. We're not gonna lie, but our show is really at least TV 14, TV MA.
I'd give it to you. It is TV 14, but
all right.
There's a few of you on there that do a little too much. This video is not sponsored. It should be sponsored by water, friends. So make sure you have your hydration breaks periodically throughout the show. We always take a hydration break at least halfway through the podcast. Logan, your water.
I don't have water. I have sweet tea. Does that work?
Sure. Hydration.
Hydrate.
Is that adult sweet tea?
No, it's just sweet tea, my brother.
Okay.
I have not had adult beverages.
Did not just say this is a TV. This is a child-friendly shindig.
We covered it up. We covered it up.
We didn't curse.
We didn't curse. We said adult beverages. I think we're getting really good at this. Okay.
Man, Jesus, I feel like we made a mistake bringing you all in here, but it's fine. We are here. We are here to recap January and February in wrestling. Oh, also, happy Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month. Huh?
Black History Month.
Huh?
Black
Look at that.
By the day this is recorded, it's Black History Month. Yeah. Support Black businesses, everybody. Okay. We're here to
like us.
Yes, like us.
There you go. Absolutely.
Us.
We're all over small business. Are you ready to talk some wrestling, gentlemen?
Yep,
yes.
Yep.
All right, let's chitty chat about some wrestling. Told you this was kid friendly.
These sound bites are epic. I love them.
Thank you.
No problem.
So, gentlemen, the past month has been entertaining to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some returns. We have not had any babies, which is nice.
That we know of.
That we know of.
Right?
No new reality. We had a new reality show come back that I have not watched yet, so there won't be much talk of that going on here. Thanks to Philly T, who is my live stream partner. He's not here today. Also, before we really get started, you guys are my first guest ever.
Yay!
On the podcast.
Thank you.
On the podcast. So
that's crazy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm good. I feel great. I feel blessed. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, all right.
Joe been hogging all of the guest spots, so I haven't been on the pod as a guest for about a year now. So I'm happy to be here.
I'm for those of you all who are not watching and you're listening to this wherever you listen to your podcast, Joe is making very rude faces at me for my sounds. And I don't like it.
Where did you get a crow from?
I have a lot.
Ow!
There's abuse on this show, so I can't curse, but you can abuse people randomly on this show.
Ow!
Maybe we
Not
should
mad
do
at that one. That one sounds like it comes in handy.
Does that
Yeah,
count?
go ahead.
Hey, can we borrow that for our show? Can we borrow that? Because
Maybe. I'll think about it. We'll see how today goes. Anyway, okay, for real. Let's really get started talking about some wrestling. Here we go.
Oh,
I like my music. I have good music.
they got great music. Okay, you kind of let on here. You be trying to be TV, very under TVG, but you got some lit music over here. You about to cross over to PG here. You better watch yourself.
Oh,
Okay.
be quiet. All
Too
right.
much bass over here. Okay.
Anyway, let's move on. Let's start with the Rumble because I don't really think anything eventful happened before the Rumble. I think everything happened after the Rumble. Joe's making a face at me.
Oh, you're right.
Nothing happened before the Rumble.
Not accurate. Yep.
Not accurate.
That's bad accurate.
Let's start with the Rumble. Now, I did go live for the Rumble with Philly T, of course. Shout out to him, who's not here. But we went live for Rumble, and if you watched that live, you would have seen my reaction to the first 15 minutes of the show, in which I almost cried. Because the first match of that was the women's Royal Rumble match, and the second person to come out was my girl. My girl, where's she at? She's on the other side of this thing. You can't see anything, but there she is. My girl is back. Still can't see her.
There we go.
Oh.
Kind of see it now.
Girl's back.
Bring it to the floor.
Naomi's back, friends.
New music too.
New music.
New music.
Very good music. I like it.
Mm.
I think they took her Impact theme and her WWE theme and they put it together.
Yeah, they basically did.
Pretty much.
I liked it for Impact. I liked her. I think her WWE, the one she had prior, just had a little more, for lack of a better term, impact.
I see what
I
you
could
did
be
there.
wrong here, but it just, when she used to come out, it just seemed like it gave her way more energy, and it gave the crowd more energy, and as a result. But that's just me.
They've been
What's-
changing a lot of people's music lately.
Well, that's because the CFOs aren't involved anymore. Like if anything, I always say Triple H, if you don't get all your kids back, go back and get CFOs too, because those guys made the Undisputed Era hits. They made the Glorious Ones hits. They made Rebel Heart, No One Will Survive. All those good hits that we like from like Black and Gold, NXT, that type of era, whatever. Like they fancied up everybody's music, and all of a sudden, Vince didn't want to pay CFOs anymore, so Triple H kept them in NXT. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So I was telling him, if he's going to get all his kids back, go get the CFOs back ASAP. They made better themes.
CFO made Bianca's theme, and Bianca's theme hasn't changed. And I'm a little scared about that. Now that you told me all that. I
Because
didn't know that.
yeah, they don't want them to touch that, because that's one of them, like a touchable one's like, we have to keep that one. That one. It's like we can't fix it.
And it might be a licensing thing too, where they have it for a certain amount of time.
Mhm.
Like Bobby Lashley's theme changed from the one he had prior to the Almighty thing. They did that one, right, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it was called Ready to Dominate or something like that. Anyway, but I think they have it for a certain time period.
Who did this one? The one he has now.
The Almighty one.
That is not the
That's never
CFOs.
been
Actually, no, that's not CFOs. That one, that because all they did was, what they do is, as producers, they'll take your music and then they'll add little intros and little booms, like Sasha Banks' old theme, CFOs. The newer ones where they change it up at the end, the newer guys, whoever does it now. Charlotte's old theme, CFOs. The new one now, they just change it up, make it like a big drop or whatever.
Yeah, CFO did Bobby's other one. It was called Dominance. The
Mhm.
Almighty theme is done by Def Rebel.
That's what doing everybody's thing now. Now let me tell you something. Def Rebel did their thing with Jay's theme song. They might have some misses, but Jay's theme song was
I think they just jazzed it up a little bit though, because that sounded like the AEW one to me. I could be wrong here, but it was like a smooth transition over.
No, I definitely agree with you on that one, just because it just feels like very AEW pumped up with like a bunch more bass and a bunch more sense. That's all it really is.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, back to the Rumble. We went off on a tangent there.
Definitely.
The Rumble. The Women's Rumble. What were you all's thoughts on the Women's Rumble? Did you find it as predictable as people were saying it was?
You want to go first, Joe? Or?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think that the Women's Rumble, that to me was the match of the night, and the reason I say that is because of all the actual moments in that Rumble. Triple H has always said there's no forbidden door, and the reason why he always says that is because he just feels like as wrestlers, they talk amongst each other, they speak amongst each other, you make the right deal, something can happen. Jordynne Grace from TNA showed up, which was awesome. She was the women's championship of TNA, and I think a couple years before that, Mickie James was TNA champion. She showed up.
Yep.
Jade actually looked really strong in that moment. Bayley was in that match, and we turned from being like kind of in a space where we were like, we know she's gonna win, to where it really wasn't evident, because there were so many moments where they were like, well, she might win. She might win. She might win. And then the start of one Tiffany Stratton started to happen. She was in the Rumble. She's next. Tiffany Stratton's next. But other than that, though, it was an amazing Rumble match for the women, because they've gotten better and better and better throughout the years. There have been some bad ones, but they've gotten way better and better throughout the years.
I think the Women's Rumble definitely had more moments as far as like memorable moments taking place in it. Jordynne Grace having a spot in it was awesome. I thought she had a good look in there. They could have let her get a couple of eliminations. I was like, y'all kind of petty with that. But now, Ashlyn, you may take a little bit of offense to what I'm getting ready to say.
Oh, God.
I do feel like Naomi was like trying to get back used to WWE style of wrestling. So she looked like she was maybe a step or two behind in some of them instances.
No, I can agree with that. I can agree. I don't have an issue with people speaking the truth. I think I saw somebody post in a group, she's showing a little bit of ring rust from coming back from Impact. I do agree with that. She is showing, like the match she had with Albert Fry a couple Fridays ago, was it Albert Fry?
Yeah,
for the Tamer spot.
Yeah, for the Tamer spot. That match to me was like, girl, what you doing?
Yes, she looked like I don't even want to say struggling, but it looks, because I saw her have the match in Impact with Jordan, and she was doing a thing.
Seamless.
You know what I mean? And it's just like trying to get back used to the WWE style of doing the show on TV, trying to, the camera settings may be different, all that kind of stuff. It seems like the wheels are going in her head as opposed to just going out there and just doing her thing.
Right.
So I'm just waiting for her to get back to that moment. I don't want to seem uber critical about it, but that was one of the main things for me in the Women's Rumble I noticed. Jade looked amazing. She looked like she fit right in. Yeah. That was the biggest part for me. I love the tease they did between her and Bianca, because that's going to be a main event whenever that does happen. We don't need to rush that, but it was great to see that moment they had between each other. And Bayley, for me, I've been adamant about it on the show. I've said plenty of times, I'm waiting for role model Bayley to come back. Like she came back, we were all happy when she came back SummerSlam a couple of years ago, and it did Damage Control, and she's just kind of been in place, like, having matches, losing, not really being relevant to too much, So but prior to that, during COVID, she was on fire. Like, she was one of the names I feel like carried WWE during COVID. So I've just been waiting to see her get back to that point. So, we'll see now that, she's won the Women's Royal Rumble. We'll see what she do if she does win the championship. But I do think the women's one definitely had more moments and memorable than the guys' match for sure.
And you want to know the funny thing? The thing about the Women's Rumble, I think that resonated with me the most, was that idiot R-Truth.
Oh, man. R-Truth is a national treasure and needs to be protected at all costs.
He needs Secret Service. I
That
think he's still in Austria.
Yeah, yeah,
I think he's still
yeah.
in Austria.
That I thought it was. I thought they were kidding when they said he was in Austria,
Yes,
but then
he's in Austria.
they pinned his location somewhere in Austria for his post. So yeah, so
But
you're
the
like,
women's
hey,
rumble was good for me. I tell you, the match that I didn't like at the rumble was Logan Paul and Kevin Owens.
oh,
Joe, listen, Joe. Out of all of the years of watching wrestling, and out of everything that I think people should know about things, is if you're going to cheat, get rid of the evidence. Why? Why? Joe, stop it. Why would you have that man take the brass knuckles, hit him with the brass knuckles, then proceed to still have the brass knuckles in his hand where the officiant can see them and pin him? And therefore, you, Kevin Owens, whoever booked it in the back, I forgot who produced that match. Why was that a thing? Out of it,
yeah,
all the times Logan Paul has used the brass knuckles, not used the brass knuckles, and everything, you give Kevin Owens the stupid spot, as I called it, and made him look like he was dumb. Why?
no,
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, Kevin Owens had a chance to win a individual title, but you can't let Logan Paul win clean. You can't, because Logan Paul's been wrestling what, like a year and a half, 2 years.
I'm not a Logan Paul fan. This is not a Logan Paul fan account. I don't like the guy.
I don't I listen. I'm right there next to you, right in the line, right next to you. I don't like Logan Paul, but he can wrestle. He can wrestle. And the thing about Logan Paul is that athletic and as young as he is or whatever, he can only get better because he's not in his prime. But you can't put Logan Paul over and then make Kevin Owens look small. So there has to be some type of shenanigans or chicanery that happens in the first place. Listen, if you have somebody else punch Kevin Owens in the face with brass knuckles and it's not Logan Paul, it's not going to fit right. So how do you still make him look like the I can't curse. Make him look like the anti-hero in all this, but still make Logan Paul look strong and him look strong. Simply put, you have Kevin Owens hit him in the face, and you have him not be like old KO where he'd like know to hide him. Like, he's with Sami Zayn now, he's cool with him now, he's a little bashful. He's like, oh no. You caught me. So Kevin Owens still looks strong. He still got to beat up Logan Paul after.
He did.
And he's been beating up Logan Paul for a little while now, which is always enjoyable. But you got to do something to keep the belt on him too to make the title relevant. Because at this point, his reign is way better than Austin Theory's reign. Then it's not even close. And
I don't know if that's fair, Joe.
He's had more meaningful matches. He's been in more spots, and it's actually been like a resonating thing that happened out of the belt. Austin Theory's whole title reign is a long 10-year title reign of SmackDown matches that we don't remember, that we don't care about.
No, it was some Raw matches.
He had some good matches.
He had some, and that's why I say I don't think it's fair personally, because he was actually defending that title. Say what you will about Austin Theory. I don't think he's there yet. I think they're still trying to figure it out with him. And the title was put on him in a space where maybe it was put on the wrong person at the wrong time. But Austin Theory still was, from where he got to that point where he was scared when Montez jumped over the top rope to where he is now, leaps and bounds better. Sitting under that apple tree of the way definitely must have helped. But Logan Paul KO match, I mean, I think it's a good day in wrestling when the women can take a sigh of relief and say, hey, our matches are no longer the popcorn match. That was the popcorn match for the
and I vehemently disagree.
Logan Paul versus KO.
I vehemently disagree.
Because you weren't going to move during the women's Royal Rumble match. You weren't going to move during the men's Royal Rumble match. So what match did you have to go and run and go get refreshments and stuff? It was that match.
I went during the second match was Roman's match. We'll get to that.
Well, that could have been another spot for the popcorn, Philip. Refreshments, whatever. But and then the other thing with Logan Paul, you want to kind of try to capitalize on his popularity outside of the WWE, and he's known. He's like got this notorious persona. The people not liking him, but he's just like one of those magnets that you still gravitate towards it. But I will give him credit. It does look like he respects the art of wrestling, and he's actually putting in work. And that's why I like the guy. I didn't care for him or his brother prior to, for the shenanigans on social media, but I will give him that much. I do think he at least respects the craft and is trying to take it seriously. And he's gonna be an attraction at WrestleMania, not the attraction, but one of them, depending on who he faces. If not Kevin Owens again at WrestleMania.
I was hoping today would have gave us more that it's going to be LA Knight, but I'm starting to feel like it's not going to be LA Knight.
Right.
That it's going to be KO, and it makes me kind of sad.
I will throw this in there now. If depending on what they do with Sammy, maybe do we see Sammy get thrown in there some kind of way?
I don't see Sammy getting thrown in. I don't know what they're going to do with Sammy. He came out at 30. I guess we'll move to the men's rumble as we talk about this. You had him come out at 30, and then now you're having him lose.
Exactly.
What was it all for? We all sat there for 30 thinking it was going to be somebody big, some big moment like it. Both 30 spots this year were horrible. Liv was a terrible idea. And so was Sami Zayn. And I'm going to throw this in the thing too. I'm going to get talked about. I don't care. I'm not a fan. I'm not a Liv Morgan fan at all. I think her time I don't think she should have won Money in the Bank. I don't think she should have won Money in the Bank. I don't think she should have won the title, especially not for somebody like Ronda Rousey, and I don't even like her. But you have somebody like Liv Morgan come back at 30. There was no big pop. Jade's pop was bigger. Jordan's pop was bigger. Naomi's pop was bigger. You're supposed to have your biggest pop come out at 30. Me personally, knowing how fans are, I would have had maybe Jordan come out at 30, Naomi come out at 30. Liv could have came out earlier, and she still would have the same impact. Then you had her stay on to the end, and now you have her come out and you're trying to make her look strong, but now she was in the chamber today, and I was like, what is this, man? She's showing ring rust.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of ring rust.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, just like everybody's on Twitter today. This, by the way, was recorded the day of Elimination Chamber. I had to put that out there. Today, there's a we want Liv trending on Twitter. Why?
She was amazing today.
No, she was not.
Oh, don't do that.
I do not agree.
Don't let your Don't let your dislike of somebody not notice that throughout that match, Liv Morgan Tiffany Stratton had the higher spots. Liv Morgan was second or whatever. And then at that point, she looked like there was a turn for her. She worked today. She worked. I'm not going to disagree with you about the Royal Rumble thing. That's absolutely correct. Her coming out 30 was like, come on, bro. It was, come on, bro. Come on. You could get Miss Jade at 30. We didn't buy with Jade at 30, bro. We were all right. You could have kept the whole ring filled up and Jade kicked people out. That's fine. But today, for EC Chamber, there's two people that they want to start pushing now. Tiffany Stratton is one of them.
I don't know why.
Liv Morgan's another one. Because those two did phenomenal. And we'll get to that later, but yeah.
I think, and this is just me, that Liv should have went back down to NXT.
I'm glad you said that, because I was ready to say I think Liv would be perfect for NXT right now, especially with them bringing Tiffany Stratton up now, the landscape for the women wrestling down there, because I'm not going to take anything away from Lyra. Lyra just isn't the champion to me that's going to draw the casual fan right now. They need somebody with some type of name notoriety, you know what I mean, and invisible something where people will be like, I got to go check that. Me personally, I probably would have kept Becky down there until WrestleMania, until maybe this moment as the champion. But to touch on what you said, to want to go back to the women's Money in the Bank, her winning that, I feel like that was a constellation prize for Ruby Soho fans when they just abruptly let her go, and they kept Liv. And it was like, okay, we got to make these fans happy some kind of way. Boom, we're going to put the Money in the Bank briefcase on Liv. Liv being at the number 30 spot, I'll be honest, if it was the old regime, we may be seeing Liv going to WrestleMania right now to face Rhea Ripley, because it would be picking back up on the storyline we had between her and Rhea Ripley. I don't think that would have been the right call to make, but the old regime totally would have went that way.
I think a heel Liv Morgan right now is exactly what's necessary, because you have Rhea, who's a tweener, you have Tiffany Stratton, who is a heel, and then all right, I put it together on my hate talk. Raquel Gonzalez needs to go back to Raquel Rodriguez and angry Big Mommy Cool Rodriguez, whatever. I know she got like issues with like health issues or whatever, and they want to make her a face. She's not a face. She's not a face.
She's right down in there too.
Nothing about that scream face. She would be another one I would send down there. Yeah.
Yeah, she needs to go back to the angry face where she like had like when wasn't she like Dakota Kai's bodyguard at one point?
Yeah. When her and Rhea had that match, dude, that match down there, there was no holds bar or whatever.
Yeah, because at that point, NXT provides a space where when you're down there, you're in Florida all the time. You have to work out all the time, and you have to wrestle all the time. So when you go to the main roster now, you have to like focus, because now when you're down there, I saw you doing or whatever. And we had Big Mommy Cool in town, and it was like COVID and all the other things or whatever at that point. Go back to that version of Rhea Ripley, and then of Raquel Rodriguez, and you're changing the narrative of everything that she does right. Because now she's smiling too much. She's like being nice in the ring and like doing like big moves or whatever. Like she needs to go back to wrestling like Damian Priest and not wrestling like Raquel Gonzalez. She needs to wrestle like Damian Priest, like she was back in the day.
And if they do it right, you got like a holy trinity there with her, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair.
Oh yeah. Oh, because Tiffany Stratton, listen, she only been in here for 2 years. She's money. Yeah. Knows her spots, knows what she can do, doesn't overwork, doesn't underperform. She's in a groove right now. She's literally in her groove right now.
59 here. No.
Yeah.
I wasn't a huge fan of her last year. Joe was telling us about him, and just from paying attention to NXT, catching some of her matches, and just seeing the steady progression of how she's just gotten better. Like, it's just kind of hard to deny her talent. And if she stays on the incline she's on right now, she's definitely going to be one of them ones for them. So it's a good thing to have right now. They got a good, solid women's roster right now.
Yeah.
I can get with that. Moving on from that, let's touch upon because I'm not going to talk about the Undisputed title. I think that needs to be its own personal little moment bubble as a thing. But let's talk about that men's Rumble match.
Okay.
That pissed me off because there were no returns, no legends, no nothing.
Well, you got Andrade. It's not a big return to some. I know. I get that.
Mr. Charlotte back. Oh my God. No.
And they love to keep couples together. So, hey.
Sorry.
Just waiting on Aleister Black to get back. You know, what's my other
that I can see come back. But the men's Rumble pissed me off for two reasons. One, it screwed up every last scorecard I had. Every single card that I had was screwed up because of that one match. And two, CM Punk got injured.
I felt like there was a work until I started seeing him with that thing on his arm.
No, I think I found the spot
If you
that he
found it,
got
yeah.
on. I think I found it. I'm
Yeah.
not too sure, but I feel like I found it. I'll share it with you all in our group chat, and I might pop it up here for the people at home that can see it. But I think I found the spot when he hurt himself. But the moral of the story is, I hated that match. By that time, I was scrolling on TikTok, I was scrolling on Instagram. I was just mad at everything that transpired because I'm like, this is not what it do. Yes, our truth, he did make it there. He was best part. He did make it to the right match. And for you to sit here and have Cody Rhodes win again, it's the all. And that's just me. I don't agree with Cody winning. I would have much rather seen maybe Drew win Rumble and somebody else win Chamber. Yes, Joe. Yes, Joe. Yes,
I,
Joe.
I probably would have switched based on today, how today went. If we were still going to get Seth versus Drew at WrestleMania, you could have had Drew win. It would have prolonged the Cody story.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You put Cody in the chamber and you make him win the spot like that. Because we knew if Drew wins the Rumble, okay, boom, we know who he's going at. He's going at the Seth. But to keep that story, that suspense going. Now, I won't say the fans wasn't behind Cody winning because they were. Like, you the first person I heard that didn't like him winning back to back. You're the first. You're the first. But I think for story purposes, you totally could have got him to this moment where it would have really got. Just imagine had they went that way, and that had to be an option. This Triple H we're talking about booking, so he had to thought of this at least. Just think of how much more fans would have been behind Cody had he won today. And it's like, okay, yeah, we know he's totally going out the Roman now.
Oh gosh. Oh man. I don't understand you guys.
I don't know why you're acting some sort of way. Like
it's not me acting. It's just like, okay, all right, let's play fantasy booking then. Who do you want to come back?
I mean, you just I don't know. I don't know who I want to come back.
I mean, I wasn't expecting Punk, but I wasn't mad at Punk returning either, so that was cool.
I was okay. I never got to talk about this on my show, but I was there when Punk came back.
At AEW?
No. WWE.
Oh, you was there at WWE. Oh, snap. Okay, yeah. Okay.
War Games.
I was at War Games.
Nice.
And I tell the story to people who allow me to tell them the story. I think I told it to Joe when we did our interview. Mm-hmm. But I kid you not, at the end of the hour, at the end of the War Games match, and they're happy and they're doing all the stuff and they're climbing the cage. Usually after big shows, there's a point where Mike Rome or Samantha, whoever was announcing, would say, "All right, Chicago, you've been great. Thank you. Be safe and drive home." Mm-hmm. But nobody was saying anything. And we were right in the front. We were like right behind the floor. So we were kind of on the floor. We weren't on the floor. We were in the very front row of the section behind the floor. If you've been to the Allstate, you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
We see security, and security is like walking around, and they're doubling up people, and they're stopping people from going out the door. And I'm like, what is going to happen? Something's going to happen. And I was getting a little nervous. Mm-hmm. And his music hit. And the people behind me went crazy. Phil went crazy. I started screaming. And it was just a wonderful moment. Now, in this wonderful moment, I am very much so highly challenged. I am 4 foot and 11 inches. I did not see him at all. I didn't see him. He's not in any of my videos. But I was there with
Titantron. So you had to go for the Titantron.
Yeah, so I ended up getting him on the Titantron. Once the Titantron changed from it saying CM Punk, like, you know, they have their Titan videos. But we were there, and it was so crazy in that moment because nobody could do anything but scream. Yeah. And when he came back, And now I did see Seth going crazy and him cussing him out. I did see all that.
Yeah.
Mm.
I saw Michael Cole, he bolted. When Seth walked out of that ring, Michael Cole went running to try to go catch him. And so did
Corey Graves.
Corey Graves. They both
Yeah.
went running in opposite directions, both to the same area. Because Seth was sitting here cussing him out. He was mad.
Yeah.
But I did see him come out. I did not see him come out. I saw everybody else's face. And it just was such a feel-good moment, at least for me, that I finally seen something that
I was just
actually
about to say
happened
the song.
good.
That's
That was
epic.
a good moment.
It was a literally, because and then it was like everybody was just kind of waiting, and it was quiet for a moment,
Yeah.
and you heard it, and it was like, ah! I think I screamed, "Oh my gosh!" like 8 times.
I think
You have to go back and watch my TikTok. It's on my TikTok.
I
Actually,
know I've seen it.
all I did was scream. I couldn't do anything but scream. But
And that building does get loud. Like I've heard Stone Cold say it before. He says Allstate, he calls it Rosemont Horizon from back in the day, but
Mhm.
that building does get loud. Like I remember, this may have been Extreme Rules or something I saw. I think it was CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. It was like a street fight.
mhm.
And it got so loud in there when CM Punk came out. Like it was just an endless just cheers, and just everybody just was going nuts that when the whole time of the match, like the match was going on and they were still going nuts. But
Mhm.
he ends up winning that match, and it was just the loudest eruption to this day I've heard.
And I think what people don't remember is that like Allstate Arena was like one of those things where it has less. I think it's less seats than United Center,
It is.
but they have like the acoustic wood for music. Like that's where all the concerts go to, for like all the rock concerts, all the acoustic concerts, everything else. Whatever. So like the noise is like deafening. And then on top of that, with everything they have set up for it, it's just so it's so good there. Like everything is always better at Allstate Arena than I hate the UC. The UC I hate it. I never want to go to a show at the UC because everybody's uppity at the UC. At the Allstate Arena, we getting lit. We don't care. We're turning up. We're losing our minds when we get to Allstate Arena. We love it there. But like, I think that in my personal opinion, with CM Punk coming back, I went live after. And not one person wasn't like, "Oh, that was terrible. That was a terrible comeback." Losing it after War Games, losing their mind after War Games. I told you to come back. I told you. Look at you. I told. Great. It was great. You're lucky. Okay, even at 4'11", you saw him on Titantron. You're lucky. You're blessed.
I did see him on Titantron, but it was crazy. I acted a fool when Randy came out.
Well, no, in that regard, to bring it back to Royal Rumble, you got a legend and you got a return in the men's Rumble. It just wasn't the ones you wanted.
And
I mean, I was too much worried about because somebody had said something about Hulk Hogan being in the vicinity, and I was too worried that he was gonna come out, because if he would have came out, I told everybody, I said if he comes out, the live is ended. If there's anybody in the world that I dislike, it's Hulk Hogan.
Agreed.
Clip out there, right? Of it's like somebody's playing 2K23.
Yeah,
And
I
then
know.
all the black wrestlers in there and Hulk Hogan, and they just beating his.
They are destroying him in the corner.
Mhm.
They're hitting each other to get to him.
I think it
But
needs
not
to be updated. We have more black wrestlers now, like Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams. I didn't need to get it in on that too.
And Carmelo was in there. Carmelo was in there.
Who
Trick
was
wasn't in there.
I think Big Trick won in there. Yeah,
Trick, because what WWE? Ooh, I'm gonna say something messed up.
Say it.
Oh,
Yeah. What WWE has to figure out is that what Trick lacks in the ring and makes up a personality and him being so catchy right now, is it worth really bringing him up? Because if we're being honest, the best thing that ever happened to Trick Williams is him getting injured now, because now you have to revamp yourself. Because Carmelo's is one of the best in-ring workers and probably one of the most consistent talkers.
And one of the cutest. Sorry.
Hey, you got to relax. You gotta relax.
That is a beautiful man.
Okay, hey, no chill with Ashlyn. Can you calm down, please?
That is a beautiful man. Have you not seen him? That is a
All right, you feel okay? I have to
All right.
put some of my sound takes on here. Cute hot take after.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, but it's got to be. But listen, you can't have Drew as a two-time Royal Rumble winner. You know why? You didn't even know if Drew was going to come back in the first place. So you got to give it to Cody. And you got to give it to Cody. Secondly, DM Punk Drew. Oh, so good. So DM Punk is the best version of the Scottish psychopath. Have you seen how petty he is on Twitter?
yeah.
I don't think this is the Scottish psychopath thing, bro. This is the what was the title that Vince gave him? The next big thing. What was it?
The next yeah, I think he was like the next. It was something. The next big thing was Brock Lesnar. He was like something. It was something. But it's like right on the fly.
But I think this is that persona just
amplified. Amped up to 1,000. Amped up to 1,000.
Well, I think that's really what we're getting. All he would have had to do is bring back that theme song, and that would have been that. But that's kind of what I'm seeing here, because everybody, me and you included, we've been saying, "Oh man, can't wait to see Scotty Psychopath. Can't wait to see Scotty Psychopath," because that was an awesome version of Drew as well. Mm-hmm. But this one right here, where he's right there in the middle, in between, you know what I mean, babyface Drew and heel Drew, you're getting that right down the middle. You got him saying stuff people are thinking, you know what I mean? You got him wearing the shirt with the tombstone, like, and he's showing he can talk even more. Like, hello, for the people that didn't know Drew Gallows, excuse me, from TNA, you're doing a disservice to yourself as a wrestling fan. But yeah, that guy can talk. Bobby Lashley can talk too if you go back and watch his old TNA.
Oh yes, he can. That is also a beautiful.
Oh my god! Okay, you got just a TV PG show. You borderline pushing it right now.
It's one of those things where you could have went with him, man. If you didn't go with him, it was the two choices for me for the men's rumble. It was either going to be CM Punk or it was going to be Cody Rhodes. Just what I'm saying today, as far as maybe having Cody wait to EC Chamber to get his spot to come back and try to get Roman. That was just in hindsight now. I was so for Cody getting, the win, because for me, it was like, all right, well, Cody's on Raw, Roman's on SmackDown. I don't know how you're going to get,
how you going to get there, right?
Back and forth. I don't know how you get back to the story if he doesn't win the Rumble, because that's the way you give him to choose which champion. You know what I mean? So it was just in hindsight today, it was like, all right, well, if this was going to be the game plan from the start, maybe you could have just gave Drew that nod and you had Cody still continue to fight, and then make it look like, oh, he's just a B+ player. Without saying that.
Which brings us into our next thing. Let's talk about this Bloodline Cody mess. I'm calling it mess. I have so many thoughts. We're already 43 minutes in. I guess you all were right, not wrong. And for that, I give myself my time management skills are pretty bad.
Boo this woman! Would you give me laughs? Thank you.
I won't boo, only because just imagine if we did what you wanted to do initially, that I'll just leave on the pre-production floor.
No, this is raw and uncut, baby. We don't edit in here. This is raw and uncut.
What's that? We don't do that here. No, bro. Okay.
Anyway, Cody won the Rumble, as we just told you, if you didn't know. And the next night on Raw, Cody comes out. Seth comes out, and Seth says, "Don't pick Roman, pick me." And Cody said, "Nah, bro." Meanwhile, on SmackDown, out came a boulder, a rock, if you will, and said that, yeah, I said it. Out came a boulder with Cody. Cody brought out a boulder.
Mm-hmm.
and said, here you go. Then proceeds then he proceeds to say you're picking Roman, but you're mad at The Rock for doing what you allowed him to do. And then you got smacked like a little girl on the playground on national television.
Can't let the smack go, man.
It was like this.
Ow!
Oh wow.
Felt my ass. That's the show.
Ow!
Okay. Oh,
Come back.
this is becoming too much. I don't like this. I'm not that. I don't like this. I don't like this. It's too much.
You can leave.
I didn't know. And nowhere. Nowhere. This is all I have. This is the only place I have to be right.
Joe's on timeout. Joe is on timeout. You, sir, are out of control. You are like a child. What? Can't hear you. Are you saying something? Anyway, back to what I was saying. And now we're in a little bit of a tizzy. We're in a little bit of a tizzy here, guys. So Logan, we're gonna start with you because you're not on timeout.
Alrighty.
How do you feel about everything that's going on with the bloodline and The Rock? Well, I guess The Rock is in the bloodline, even though he held up an L and not a 1 on SmackDown. For those of you all who are listening to this, where you listen to the podcast, Joe is currently pouting. Pouting. Yes, you're pouting. Anyway, Logan, the floor is yours.
Alrighty. This has been interesting. The fans just are not fans, for lack of a better word, of Roman and Rock. I thought it was 2015 all over again when Roman won the Royal Rumble. They had The Rock go out there. Roman was getting booed out of the arena. They had Rock come out there, try to get the fans to have a change of heart. Didn't work. And fast forward, they teased the Roman v. Rock match, that has been like Easter egged and everything for the last several years, including Young Rock. If you watch Young Rock on NBC, and it's something, for me, I don't mind them type of matches. It's just it doesn't need to be for a title. A title doesn't need to be in any vicinity whatsoever for that. Rock being 51 now, 52,
and a beautiful man.
The dude's in great shape, obviously, but he's not in ring shape. He's been away from wrestling since the last time he was in a ring, which has been about 10 years when he faced Cena and had an injury in that match. So, us getting to a place where it's like, all right, nobody wants to see that, especially when you have this storyline going on about finishing the story. That's what we've been getting for the last year and a half, going on 2 years now, because he's been talking about finishing the story since before last Royal Rumble. So we get to that point, and it was like, oh God, they're getting ready to really do this. I was glad that there was some type of pivot. I want to give Triple H credit for this and say this was all just a work. I don't know, because at some point I know this is a business for them, and they want to have the biggest main event they can to attract casual fans, because the WWE universe is loyal to a fault. Like, they're going to go out and droves. I went to Tennessee when they had SummerSlam 2 years ago. Didn't even go to the actual SummerSlam. Just went down to Tennessee. And Nashville was just so overrun with people. So many fans. I saw Karrion Kross randomly in like a gaming bar. And he was just sitting there just bigger than life. And it's like, oh crap, that's Karrion Kross, really? But I was just like, I don't want this. I don't want this. And I'm a lifer Rock fan, and it was just something I was not clamoring for. But fast forward, I'm glad we got the smack that put The Rock on Roman's side.
Ow!
And now we got a Samoan Nation of Domination going on. So it's entertaining.
I took Joe off of punishment because
All right, Joe.
it's time for Joe to speak. Joe, have you learned your lesson?
No. I'm saying this on your show, and I'm saying it as respectfully as I possibly can say it. As wrestling fans, we have a thought that we want something, not realizing that Father Time is undefeated, that the moment that we want something is not going to be the same as the way that we want it, and that these people have to make money in some shape, fashion, or form. Here's the thing. The Rock coming back is fine, but you can't have him wrestle a 25 to 30-minute match. You know what happens when you do that? He tears something in his back like he did with John Cena, or you're bored out of your mind by the 4th hour of WrestleMania. It's been there. It's happened. That's why you guys didn't get it at LA. That's why you guys didn't get it at Tampa in the first place. It didn't make sense. Now that when you guys got it, he said it. He even said it. We gave it to you. You booed it. You didn't want it. Yeah, of course you didn't want it. We saw you have to struggle to pick up Jinder Mahal and to run and jump over him like a geriatric seal to do your people's elbow. It's weird. And now you're coming out here in this vest that we don't like. Yeah, you slapping people, but if you have to move, I bet you can't take a clothesline and run back and forth more than 30 seconds. Like, yeah, you're out of breath and you're old. Secondly, with that being said and the nature of it all being said, everything that's being done now at this point is set up to where now you don't know what's going to happen. And this is just like going back to the old school ways of wrestling, which is exciting. And the fact that we don't know and we speculate is a good thing. We don't need to know everything. We don't. I will bet money that everybody gets the Elimination Chamber, and you guys probably got most of your picks right. Am I right in saying that?
I did.
Yeah.
By the time this comes out, it'll come out that me and Phil won tag team titles in one of our leagues.
See, yeah. So yeah. See. So right now, we need some unpredictability with this whole thing. I don't know what's going to happen with the Rock thing. I know I don't want him to wrestle 20, 30 minutes against Roman Reigns. I don't want that. 15 to 20 minutes is fine with me. 10 minutes is fine. 10 minutes is fine. 10 minutes of the Rock is fine. Do the Stone Cold thing. Let the younger man carry it in the first place or whatever. Make it a street fight or whatever. Now we don't have to take as much crap. Okay, good. No more like moves and DDTs and watching you flower around the ring or whatever. Same thing should happen to Kurt Angle where it should have been a street fight with Chad Gable. Like that should happen. Because you can't watch Kurt Angle move anymore. It's sad. It's depressing to realize that people get old. Okay. At this point, the best thing that could have happened is what's been happening in the first place. Cody can switch the narrative of saying, hey, I wanted you to teach him a lesson, not work with him. Rock can be like, well, I want the champion. I want championship. I'm board direction. We got to make a new change and change direction and shift. It's going to work out for the greater good. It is. I didn't like how Rock slapped Cody because I think you can tell that Cody was like, yeah. I think like Cody was like he was taken aback. Like he was like, did you slap me, sir? Like, and then he went forward. So
he came at his family. He came at his ancestors. He didn't tell me somebody came at his friends.
He didn't say that. All he said he would be ashamed, and he would be ashamed because Roman at first was a bulldozer. He was smashing and stacking, and then all of a sudden he got too comfortable with his power of being the tribal chief, and then he just lost sight. Like Roman used to come in, Superman punch everybody, spear everybody, then just like stack them, and then put them in like the guillotine, and that was it. Like he did that. He did that to the Fiend, Braun Strowman.
Yeah,
Goldberg at one point. Like it was like he dominated all the big guys. Whatever. Now all of a sudden you got to have Jimmy come out and Solo come out and everything. Okay, all right, bro. Chicanery got to stop, bro. You got to start being dominant.
Well, alrighty then. I have no thoughts. I said I'm not a fan of Cody winning the Rumble. I'm interested to see where this is going to go. Mm-hmm. I guess my biggest thing is at this point, if they do all this and Cody does not win at WrestleMania, I'm going to figure out what was it made? What was it all for?
Right.
And they'll get this for 15 minutes on the podcast. Would it be 15 minutes of Bill?
You don't got the Cardi B side. What was the reason? You don't got that side. What was it?
I don't. I have a few more spots on my little board that I have to fill up with things. What was the reason? If Cody loses, that'll be my question. What was the reason?
I'd
I
be
don't get it.
highly surprised if he loses. They've even worked that into the promotion of 2K24. Finish your story. Like, if he loses and you've built promo for a video game around finishing the story, that's gonna be crazy.
If Cody loses, there is no more like we're not going to be behind him anymore. He has to be
No.
a heel now to win it. He has to be a heel now to win it. The one thing he does not want to do. I pray for this man that Triple H does not have a long-term story booking thing idea out of nowhere, because the one thing about Trips is he knows how to get us engaged and interested in something, and he can keep our attention for a long period of time because he really believes in long-term booking. Like, he's not like a bunch of people. He's like, okay, we're gonna switch this up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have Trish Stratus come out and she's gonna interfere with your match, and then we're gonna put you up on allegations about some stupid stuff. Like, he don't do stuff like that. Like, it's not like stuff that don't make sense. This will make perfect sense. Like, if Cody doesn't win it, it'll make perfect sense. That's the reason why. Like, this will be like a 13th reason why. Like, it'll be like one of those things where Damian Priest comes down. Seriously, it'll be like a thing where Damian Priest comes down, cashes in, wins the title, and pins Cody to win, and Roman never lost his title. All that stuff. Same thing happened with Seth Rollins and Brock and Roman. So
It could be that. I'm thinking if it goes that route, Cody will beat Roman, the Bloodline come beat him down, Damian Priest come cash in, and that's how he leaves WrestleMania as finishing the story. But now he got a new story to go after. Or does he? Because he'd beat well, no, if he lost, well, he beat the SmackDown champion that lost, right? So now he's on the show from Damian. So
yeah. And Damian now the Judgment Day is on SmackDown.
Right.
And speaking of the Judgment Day, I just want to say a big to the Judgment Day for being so mean to Archer. Because why?
Come on,
Come on, you know why.
You know why. You know why. Come on.
It's because he's black.
Wait, hold on now. Wait.
It's because he's black. And they're doing this during Black History Month.
Listen, it's the reason why they're doing it is because the Judgment Day want to be taken seriously, and at this point, they ought to be taken seriously because today they had a banger.
Today was really good.
Yeah,
and that's because Truth was in Austria.
Right, but he wasn't involved. Like, and apparently, I'll wait till we get there to report what I've just.
No, go ahead. Apparently,
got beat up by somebody in the front row.
Who?
He was walking out, like he was getting kicked out. He was walking in the back. Somebody grabbed him in the front row, shook him, and let him go. Yeah. Some odd thing was like, oh, and he grabbed him and shook him, and then let him go. It was all over TikTok.
Wow.
I'm shook.
I am shooketh.
I'm shooketh. Shooketh to the highest order. I don't blame people because Chicago was booing Dom.
Oh, God.
Chicago hates
Dom. Everybody hates Dom. And I think that's the best thing.
And that's a sign that he's doing something right as a wrestler, as a character, etc. Like, Dom is pretty dope. I'm actually, he's another one. I would probably have him as NXT champion right now. They probably should have kept that North American title, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They probably should have kept that on him till WrestleMania because it was entertaining. Like, the dude is a magnet. Again, this is somebody who, and he can go in the ring. Like, I wasn't a fan of babyface Dom at all. You put him in Judgment Day, you've let him develop. He's dedicated to the character. He's grown this Eddie Guerrero mullet. He's doing the moves. Like, guys, he's good in my book.
It was him going to jail. Jail did it for Dom.
Definitely.
Jail did it for Dom.
That's the story right there, though. Do we get Dom versus Ray at WrestleMania?
We already had that.
I know, part 2.
No.
Where is Ray? Hey, where is Ray?
He's old. He retiring. He's old.
Hire him though is my point.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. You do not want the Rey Mysterio back Dragon League and Uba Femi all of a sudden beat the out of Dragon League. Rey Mysterio, listen, it's done for Rey. We can't. Carlito got to go too. It's time. It's time.
You know, just
That's what they don't do to you.
I don't care. You don't want him back. You only want him back for the memories and the apple to spit. You don't want him to win a championship.
And he ain't spit it yet. He ain't done it yet.
He did it in Royal Rumble.
Did
Did
he?
Royal Rumble. Yeah. See?
Oh.
Hot
See?
cover call.
Yeah, he was in the Rumble. See, there we go. It
There's
wasn't
legend.
big stars.
He had already been back though. You all are not understanding what I mean by somebody returning. As in they haven't been on SmackDown or Raw or NXT the weeks leading up to said event. Now, if like he came back, that's a return, a surprise. If Book came back again, like he did last, that was funny.
Who? Booker T?
It's some people I don't want to see them in the ring anymore. If we just said
I'm using him as an example. I'm not saying I want to see him. I'm using him as an example. Stop drawing attention to stuff that don't need to be drawn attention to. So, yo.
He came out of nowhere. It was scary. I was scared.
I was definitely like, what's going on there, bro? Okay.
Can I do that? Does mine do
but
that?
No, just Mac. I think it's Mac.
Certain people, I'm like, I'm good. I don't need to see what's my man name? Hacksaw Jim Duggan come back. No.
Jim Duggan came back in the Royal Rumble.
Jim Duggan needs to just chill out, don't bring back Sergeant Slaughter. I don't need to see none of the golden era guys.
What I mean is like even Rock. Like Rock wasn't in the Rumble. Like
good.
He didn't.
You saw him with Jinder Mahal.
I'm just using him as an example. This is why She Talks is alone. This is why I'm not We Talk.
First off, you see the name. What do you think is going to happen? You thought it was coming here and not be toxic? What's wrong with you? Okay, no.
Anyway, that's what I mean by return. Naomi, that was a return.
Mm-hmm.
Liv was a return. Jordan was a surprise. There was nothing like that in the men, besides Andrade, and we all saw that coming.
We did.
We all saw it coming.
I'm waiting on Buddy Murphy to come back too.
Buddy and Aleister, I think, should be back hopefully by SummerSlam. Is what
26.
I've heard.
I'm waiting for that.
26.
I'm waiting for that.
26 because they won.
26.
Yeah, they're signed 26. No. They're signed. So here's the thing.
Tony was doing 5-year contracts.
Yeah, Tony's 5 years. Here's the thing. You can't have Big E. Big E's neck is messed up. Aleister Black, Buddy Matthews, they want to leave. They want to leave, but Brody King is like, yo, I'm kind of like it here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because if you bring that, number one, if you bring the House of Black to WWE, you have to get rid of Judgment Day altogether. The gimmick is basically the same. And House of Black is more vicious. They actually make more sense, and it works out better. Now, how you get there? I don't know. You said what?
Judgment Day is like a fake DX now.
Judgment Day is very weird.
Is Rhea even still part of Judgment Day? Like
yes.
Because she still got the graphic, and her music is better than theirs. Damn, and her graphic is better than theirs.
She just hasn't been on TV with them in a couple of weeks. Like
that's because she's dealing with all that stuff with Nia Jax. Which
I get that part, but it's just like she's not fitting that heel mold anymore. Like, especially and then what they had her doing out there in Austria, she was just out there, the fans loving her. Like, it's kind of hard to kind of continue to try to force her to be a heel. And then you got to go in against Nia Jax, where it's like, okay, we know the whole building is against her. So
let's talk about that match. Well, first of all, I went to sleep on that match. I have to go back and watch the replay. I woke up. Listen. I'm going to tell you why. I woke up towards the end of the men's room. When I woke up and I turned the thing on, I got Phil on the phone. They had just eliminated Kevin Owens. I watched them eliminate Kevin Owens. So I watched the rest of that match. Rhea came out and my eyes started to go like this. I was getting sleepy.
Mhm.
I watched the beginning of the offense, and after that, guys, I remember nothing. Now, I did go back and watch it live because I had to go. I mean, watch it. I went and watched the recap, not the recap. I went and watched the show, and the match I'd say was very good. I'd give it to him. The match was very good.
Yes.
It was not the match of the night at all. I'd give that to the tag match. I'd give it to the tag match. I would. Joe's giving me the face. I'd give the worst match of the night to the men's chamber. I'd give it to the men's chamber. If I had to rank an elimination chamber today, it would be tag match, the women's chamber, the women's Rhea and Jax, and then the men's chamber. And the women's chamber and Nia and them would kind of be here. Like, I just feel like the women's match had a little bit more of an edge towards Rhea and Nia. Stop it, Joe.
Damn, sorry.
And then the men's match I just was overall mad. First of all, I'm sick of them disrespecting Bobby Lashley. The man is a beast. And you're having him come into the chamber and you're just like, Bobby, I'm giving you this consolation prize. I'm sorry for calling your new team the Pride. I'm sorry for giving you BFAB when BFAB should be in NXT. I'm sorry for giving you the Street Profits and giving them a new theme and then taking them away from you and giving them their old theme. So here's a spot in the chamber match, but you're going to be out first. What?
During Black History Month is crazy.
That's wild.
Wow. First one out, Black History Month. Wow.
What?
You didn't even wait till everybody got out.
First one out.
Didn't even wait till everybody got out.
He did have an injury last night on SmackDown.
How do you even count? That was pre-taped.
That was on Wednesday, bro.
It was
Wednesday, bro.
In the land of make believe, y'all. Come on now, work with you.
Land of make believe. No, bro, it won.
Pre-taped.
Yes.
So yes, I'm calling them out for that. For that they get a. You had a returning Naomi come back and get out first in the women's thing, and then you had Bobby Lashley come out too. Whose idea was this? Who booked this? This wins my who booked this prize of the day.
Let's keep it going.
Allowed the two black people in the matches.
Got shot. Who's getting shot right now?
Who booked this? Joe. Let me run my show.
You're shooting. You just said this is a family show and people are getting shot for booking matches badly. You're shooting people
This
now.
has been the first and last time that I have guests on my show.
Hey, I was about to give her some more ammo because I was going to say not only did they get eliminated first, Street Profits lost to AOP. All right. We're not going to even get on the New Day and how they continue to lose to Imperium. So
You're shooting people. That's like
all
It's Black History Month, Joe.
Jesus.
It's Black History Month, Joe.
You're
Put some respect on the black people during Black History Month, okay? Let's put some respect on us. We don't deserve this. Joe. Joe.
So sorry. I can't believe it.
So whoever booked those events to happen during Black History Month, this is for you. Don't let me catch you in an alley.
Oh, I didn't even bring up Cedric Alexander's promo on Raw either.
With what's his name? With what's his name? Don? Is it Donis? That's his name? Oh, that's good. Listen. You want to talk about something flopping? That's a flop hard. Unless I'm sorry, and I wish no ill will against Cedric Alexander.
We don't do ill will here. The gunshots
I don't wish bad on any of these
figurative gunshots. They're not real gunshots.
But Donis is sitting there like this. Just release me, bro. Like, there's nothing else I can do. Like, y'all got rid of my mans and everything else. You got BFAB else. You want me to do this by myself? When the last time he wrestled with anybody? I don't even do. Who is this?
And the BFAB thing was so random. I was just kind of
BFAB. I'm sorry. I'm all for black women. I love black women. I have the SmackDown women's belt because almost every. Jesus, why can't nothing pop up on here? There it goes.
It's the brightness. There it is. Yeah.
Everybody, Bianca, Sasha, and Naomi have won this belt. This belt has sentimental value to me. I call it the black woman belt because they've all had it.
That's true.
But you bring back BFAB. And her promos are not all that great. She looks crazy.
Yes.
I don't know who is dressing BFAB.
BFAB is dressing BFAB.
BFAB girl, if you're listening to this, I do love you, girl, because I do it for the culture. But baby, NXT for BFAB.
No.
Send her. No, she needs to go back down there. She needs to train. She needs to go through a couple more promo classes. When I say NXT, developmental NXT, as in you're not on TV. She needs to go through that.
There you go. She talks.
And then from there, you put her on TV. Then you have her come up. She should be the black Zelina Vega. That's what she should be. The mouthpiece that she was to Andrade, the mouthpiece that she was for the LWO at one point. The Queen Zelina, I could see Queen BFAB. I could see it, but she needs some work.
I'm gonna say something messed up. Here we go.
No, let me finish. Let me finish. One more thing. I know I'm gonna sound crazy for saying this because I give her flowers 25-8, but Naomi should go back down to NXT.
No, you're crazy.
A little bit. She needs a little bit of development, just a little bit, just to get rid of the ring rust.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, if Becky went and had a quick little run down,
and that's what I mean. That's all she needs.
And Becky is like cream of the crop. She's the top of the roster for the women in WWE. So if she could go down there and do it, I'm not opposed to Naomi going down there. I think that's where Jade's headed. That's why they didn't announce her signing SmackDown like they did with Braun Breaker. They had her there in that little segment, but she didn't sign. So with Tiffany coming up to SmackDown, I think they're totally going to make the landscape of NXT for Jade.
I think that'll be fine.
Yep.
Just so people can get used to Jade, because some people are like, after people go like, why is it such a big deal? Like, who is Jade? Jade. Because they didn't watch AEW. So they didn't really know about the longevity of Jade's reign. I didn't watch AEW. I still don't. I watch it sporadically.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Because I don't care. I watch it for Swerve. I watch it for Swerve. That's all I watch it for. I really just watch it for Swerve.
I mean, that's the best thing going on there. So I'm not mad at that at all.
I watch it for Swerve. I also saw that Saraya brought her brother on last night or something.
Hey, yeah, it's an S show down there.
It's a mess. It's the Hot Mess Express.
Too much too soon. That would be
too much too soon. AEW, this is for you. Anyway, back to Elimination Chamber. See how things happen when you got people on here with you. I would have been done by now if I was doing this by myself.
We rounding it up.
We're rounding it out. It's almost done.
We are almost done. So we had Bobby go out for some stupid reason. Knight went out, and then after that, it just went crazy. Especially after last year's Chamber match to me was just so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. And now you're giving me trash. I'm sorry. I'm going to say this, and I mean no harm to Bobby Lashley. But I rather would have had Montez back in the match than have Bobby in the match.
They just need to push Montez, period. And
Montez needs to get out of the street.
He's got to be out of the street. Listen, I love.
Or keep him in and do what they did with Big E and have Dawkins support him. Because I feel like when he went the first time, Dawkins was just kind of like,
man.
I mean, I guess since they gave it to you, no. Do what you did with the New Day, like they did with Big E, like they did with Kofi. The other two were still there. They were still all together, but they still had those singles runs. I really do think that Montez deserves a singles title ASAP.
Are you saying that because you watched the reality show? Or are you saying that?
I
because
told you I
really
have not
looked at it?
started the reality show. I'm waiting on Phil.
You're waiting on what?
I'm waiting on Phil.
See, her and Phil gonna watch it together.
Oh, I love it.
Montez is a future singles competitor and future star. Like he's got star written all over him right now.
34.
He's who?
He's 34. That future is dwindling.
In wrestling, that he'll. How old is AJ Styles?
Nope, don't do that. Don't do that. Because AJ Styles is
how old?
Plus 40 plus. He's an anomaly though. He's
How
an
old is
anomaly.
Phil Brooks?
My point exactly. 40 plus.
Well, that's not your point. Is that he's still doing it? How old is Samoa Joe?
40 plus. But those are, again, an anomaly.
They are. I'm what you're saying. I'm not saying is incorrect, but I'm just saying him being 34. He has. I'm not saying he. The clock is always ticking, like you said before. Final time is undefeated, but we got time to get to that. That singles run. We still haven't saw a full-on Street Profits, or this is just maybe just my personal fantasy here for them, but I want to see the Street Profits have that Harlem Heat type run where they just run everybody. I want that. And they're capable of doing that. I'm just waiting on them to actually give them the green light for that.
I want that for him too. I want that for him too. I agree.
And that's what I'm holding out hope for before I say, all right, let's go ahead and put my man's in the singles, competition. Like I want them to get that. Once they get that under their belt, all right, then hey, it's off to the races, and Dawkins just gonna have to figure it out. But
I think he'll be fine because he can wrestle.
That's why I say he's just gonna have to figure it out. It's a matter of now. I don't know if that'll work for him in WWE. He might have to be one of those ones that go off and do TNA and maybe AEW now that that's here, depending on how long that's here, and show the value and show that he's capable of doing more than what they thought initially. And that's nothing bad. I mean, like I said earlier, Bobby Lashley had to do it. Drew McIntyre had to do it. Several guys that had to do it for them to see, oh man, we dropped the ball with that guy. But yeah, I think when they get that run, then I'd be cool with him. Maybe around 30. He's 34. Maybe around 36. That's probably when they'll do it.
I think, but my thing is like at this point, like you don't have anybody else to be a viable star. You're not going to push Ricochet, which is wild to me in the first place.
That's crazy.
Where is Ricochet?
He was injured though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he injured with Samantha. Like that's why him and Samantha weren't there. They're vacationing. They don't give a darn. At this point,
Samantha's great.
Samantha's fantastic.
Samantha is
right. She's
great. I love to see her little videos when she's just as excited as everybody else. Like
she be sitting like this.
Yeah, like she's, I like to see, a person just enjoying their job and enjoying and loving.
She's been a wrestling fan. She was on America's Got Talent. Like she's been a huge wrestling fan. She wore the Shawn Michaels dangling earring when she sang one of her songs. That's the thing.
I didn't know all of that about her backstory, so that's even making me respect her even more.
She's come along. She's come a long way.
Yeah, I slid her DMs a long time ago. That's the point is.
The point is that for what they're doing at this point, the pride is being wasted. You're wasting the potential of the pride, and Bobby Lashley's prime is being wasted too. Because honestly, if you really think about it, what's something we haven't seen yet? Seth Rollins versus Bobby Lashley. We haven't seen that at all. Okay, and you're making the pride a face. No, make them heels. And stop with the AOP narrative with the Final Testament, the Karrion Kross thing. You know what? I get it. It looks cool. It looks great, the Final Testament, whatever. But you're going to bury him into the mid-card anyway. Just let him go there to the mid-card and be buried there in the first place and have like one main event title shot. Call it a day. But you have the Street Profits who are over. You have Bobby Lashley, who is obviously over. You literally had a heel Bianca that you could have had that changed the narrative of the game
and everything else. We could have got Bianca versus Rhea at freaking WrestleMania. Over, but you ruined it. You sullied it up because you made her Jane Cena and you refuse to change her now at this point. It is what it is. Now, with that being said, EC Chamber, women's match was the best match of the night. Okay, anybody says Tiffany Stratton's a star, Liv Morgan's a star. Freaking Becky Lynch is so underrated and we don't appreciate her as much as we should, even though she does get the main event spot, but it's for a reason. She main evented with Charlotte and Sasha. That was awesome. She main evented with Bianca. That was awesome. At this point, you might as well give her a go. She's in her prime. She's kicking butt. You might as well give her a prime. Now, second match of the night. Tag match. Oh, my God. The Judgment Day need to lose their tag team titles, but not yet because Austin Truth might win it, even though that match is not going to be as good as this match was tonight because this match was spectacular, which means Triple H now cares about tag team wrestling again, giving them 20 to 25 minutes plus. Thank God.
Trips has always cared about tag team wrestling. As I said earlier, that was the old regime. Because remember, he had takeovers where tag team matches headline.
Independent, yeah. DIY versus FTR, all that stuff. I get it. I'm sorry, my bad. I apologize. I recant my statement.
There you go.
Do I need to click the button?
Nope. Rhea versus.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
No. Rhea versus Nia showed that Rhea Ripley's championship run is for a reason. She knows how to call a match now. She knows how to put people in a position to succeed. Now, what people don't understand is the difference between Zelina Vega and B-Fab is that Zelina Vega can actually wrestle. Okay, and she knows how to go through a match, be called through a match, whatever. B-Fab can't wrestle for anything. B-Fab has been voted twice worst match of the year for the same match. It's a little known. I'm not even making it up.
Logan has gone back.
Wrestling Observer, her Street Fight versus Elektra Lopez was voted worst match 2 years in a row, and I don't even know how it got there. Like, it's not even like on the cusp of like at the end of the year, 20, like I think it's 21 and 22 worst match of the year. Okay, because it was bad. It was bad. It was hard to watch. All right. Now, with that being said, B-Fab needs to go to developmental deal and just wrestle all the time. And just wrestle.
I don't think she needs to wrestle though, bro. I this, and if this comes off misogynistic, I apologize, but some women don't need to wrestle. Some of them just need to be valets. B-Fab, I put in that category of just needing to be a valet. She does not need to wrestle. There's certain women they try to force into the wrestling thing, and it's just like when they used to do that with Stacy Keibler and them back in the day. It's like, no, that's
and
not
CJ Perry. Rusev wife, CJ Perry.
Yeah, like, they don't need to be wrestlers. Let them do what they do. She was cooking as Rusev's mouthpiece, and as his manager. There's no reason to deviate from that. Yeah. Let B-Fab do that. She can talk if you let her talk.
Yeah, she can rap too. She got bars.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And but Hit Row has been, since Swerve been gone, you can't be successful with the main ingredient gone. Like, that's just what it is.
Oh, one more thing. AJ Francis, stop it. Don't you ever do a Spanish fly ever again in your life.
AJ stop wrestling.
No, because AJ Francis can wrestle.
No,
but he needs to just
stop wrestling. If he's going to try to wrestle, he needs to lose about a good 60 pounds.
He already lost.
He needs to lose. I'm saying.
No, bro, he can wrestle. Stop.
Guys, you see doing the Spanish fly.
Logan.
I'm serious.
Logan.
This is just like me trying to. No, I'm not his height, but I'm a solid brother. I'm not. You gonna see me doing no Spanish fly.
Logan.
Give him the sounds. She talks. You gonna give him to me? Give him some too. Pause.
She talks. Am I lying? I'm just saying.
Logan.
All right.
We cannot body shame the people. Logan.
I'm not body shaming. I said
you just said he's lose 60 pounds.
You don't need to be trying to.
He lost a lot of weight, bro. He had diabetes.
He don't need no type rope moves. He needs to.
Logan, what you should have said was maybe he needs to change his move set.
But he totally need to do that. That go without saying.
But she talks.
Could you stop calling me she talks?
Ashton, that's not even his style. Like he pulled it out of his butt. And he was like, I want to do Spanish fly. You do it? Let's do it.
No Spanish flies. I'm sorry. No.
He just called it out of nowhere. You know what's the crazy thing about wrestling right now is when he called it, the other guy was like, we're not doing that. He was like, okay, you can do that? Fine. And it wasn't like, oh, the other guy's foot got caught in the rope. No. AJ just missed the flip. He couldn't do the back flip. And it ain't because he's big, it ain't because of his size. That's not his move set. You are 250 plus pounds, tall and strong. Throw people and punch people in the face. It's a very simple thing. Okay, I know you're in the Indies and you got to impress people. No, you don't. You know why? You are 6 feet plus and 250 pounds, and you look intimidating. You make great music. You are bigger than most of the people on the Indies. Beat them up. That's all you got to do. Beat them up.
He can be a 6 feet, 250 pound plus manager because that's what he's doing. I'm sorry, AJ. Hey, his music is good. He's talented. He's a talented guy, but if he's gonna really trying to do some wrestling, like go ahead and put him with somebody, whoever Damian Priest trained with is somebody. Like he needs to,
You can't do that.
Because that moveset is not gonna. He's trying to do the 2K24 moveset, and it ain't gonna work for him.
All right, you gotta end the show now. You gotta end the show. Yeah, end the show. This is it.
You don't get to tell me what I get to end my show. It's my show.
Top Dollar can get the Spanish fly off on the game. He can't do that in life. Okay, I'm just saying.
Just a bit. Jesus.
Sorry.
What?
My apologies. My apologies.
I am so confused and so shocked about what just transpired.
Look, AJ Francis and me just come cross paths, and he'll remember these comments.
But if AJ Francis slapped me because he can't do a Spanish fly, okay, you slap somebody who don't wrestle that knows what a Spanish fly looks like, and is mad at you for attempting it.
Boy.
I'm just gonna sue you. You slapped me, bro. We're not the ring.
Ow!
I'm gonna sue you. Don't you hit you? That's assault, sir. You're going to jail tonight. You are 6'7", 250 pounds, and you slap me?
Joe.
I'm 85.
Okay.
Jail.
I'm sorry.
Ow!
I'm sorry, Joe. I wasn't ready.
Jail.
Okay. All right. And on that note, I think we have covered pretty much everything.
I think so.
I think we've covered it all. I'm so disheveled. I can't even end my own show. I am so disheveled. Logan, please give the people your social media handles so where they can find you.
Okay, you can find me on all social media platforms at old_man_Logan_ Inc. That's on TikTok. That's on Twitter or X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, thank you for having me on the show, Ashley. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
You can also hear me with Joe and the other guys on Hot Take Wrestling.
Joe, give me social media handles.
Hi, guys. My name is Toxic Jose, where we do anything Joselines. Mr. Imaginary Soapbox, a.k.a. Why would you say that? You can follow me at Joe Freelon, FREELON, 3 lowercase i's on Instagram. I am also on Facebook. Don't follow me there. That's none of your business. Now, you can follow us at Hot Take Wrestling, the podcast on Twitch, Twitter, and also Instagram, and where else? TikTok. There, you will get all your takes, all your wrestling 3 or 4 days out of the week as well. We went live for Elimination Chamber. It was awesome. Thank you to all those who supported. Please follow She Talks Wrestling on all her platforms, where she is also family member of the Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. Thank you.
Indeed.
You doing my own outro?
No, I just wanted to tell you.
Okay.
I
Okay,
believe
wonderful.
I believe in you. That's all it is.
Very special thanks to Joe and Logan for hanging out with me on my big return. I do appreciate you guys again. You all are my first hosts. You all have been on the podcast before Phil. And that to me is crazy. Maybe I'm just a horrible girl.
But does Phil want to be on the podcast? Like, if he didn't want to be on,
I'm not sure.
yeah. If he
I'm
didn't
not
want,
sure. I've never
if he-
asked.
well, then you are. You never asked him.
I never asked.
You never
Anyway,
asked him.
feel free to follow me on all my social media handles. It is at She Talks Wrestling on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. It is at She TLK Wrestling on Twitter. That's now known as X, but I'm still going to call it Twitter.
Yeah, me too.
I promise, I so solemnly swear, never to go 6 months without recording a podcast ever again in the whole run of She Talks Wrestling. I'm so sorry, but life was lifing and I didn't have much time. Also, if you're on Discord, come join the wrestling community. It is a collab between me and these wonderful men over here. We don't talk much in there because we're the only people there. So come in there.
We're gonna get it going though. We're gonna work.
It's about to get on and popping.
Yeah.
It's about to get on and popping. I promise you. But please, 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 please check us out there. We have some other things behind the scenes in the works that are coming up between She Talks and Hot Take. We might just be called the Hot Talks Wrestling Crew or something. Or She Takes Wrestling. I don't know. We're working on that too. I like the Hot Talks Wrestling Podcast. I think it's cute.
You're changing our name. Did you
I'm
come
not
and do an
changing
overhaul?
our name, Joe.
You Tony Condas. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Joe. Come on, I have to say. I hope you have an amazing day, week, month, whatever's going on in your life. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. Have a wonderful rest of Black History Month, and I will see you guys. Oh, wait, nope, I forgot something. Make sure you all are ready April 5th and 6th. Are those the right dates, Joe? I feel like it's either April 5th and 6th or April 6th and 7th. Somebody
I
correct me
think
if
it's
I'm wrong.
April 4th and 5th.
No, it's not. That's the Friday, Saturday. I think it's April 5th and 6th.
6th and 7th, actually.
April 6th and 7th is the WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Will we be live? We don't know yet. But keep your eyes out on all of our social media platforms. We'll let you know there, and we'll figure it out together. Again, hope you have an amazing, wonderful day, week, month, year, whatever's going on in your life. Remember, Jesus loves you, and so do I. See ya!